Great, Josh. Thanks for joining me again. Would love to spend a little bit of time here this afternoon talking about Google. At 66 Degrees, we oftentimes share with customers and how we position ourselves as we build the Agentic Enterprise, and we help our customers build the Agentic Enterprise. Where we oftentimes find our customers choosing Google is because Google has a full stack offering, from the chip all the way up to the AI model and even the vertical solution. Could you talk a little bit about how Google positions themselves, but also delivers on this value proposition?
Yeah, so first of all, Google's got a really amazing vision, and it's even more so than the chip up to the integrated solution set. Google captivated the internet by creating a search experience for just about everything that happens in the ether and making it elegant and simple. And what Google's internal mandate for the enterprise, the corporate environments, is that they're going to make simply finding, searching, transacting, working, this new computing paradigm, as simple as possible. And so the great thing that Google has done at the very, 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 very top of the enterprise stack is it created a UI and an experience for AI. And now they've actually created this experience where that's going to meander into and integrate into the general computing paradigm of an enterprise, core business systems. And so it's not just simply the chip, it's actually changing the computing paradigm altogether. Very much like what Google did to the internet will happen the way we compute with inside the four walls of someone's enterprise with Agentic. And so one that's interesting because it changes everything. It's one interface to compute and transact to just about anything. And that's the theory and the strategy. But it goes down further into the stack, so not just simply the chips, but it's actually, when you think about, competing chips, it's also thinking about the most advanced computing structures like quantum with Willow and Iron with more complex power in their own proprietary chipsets. And so if I'm going to connect everyone to transact through one common layer, and I've got the way that I can actually compute and also power with power data centers, it's actually not just full stack, it's a full transformation stack. From the idea to the computing to where the power that's generated for the neuron and the power process unit to inference all the way up through someone making a decision and transacting through one common stack. Now it's broken down to a few pieces that, major building blocks. And so it's the core infrastructure, it's the core data infrastructure, data state that sits on top of it. It's the applications that can run inside that core infrastructure alongside the data and interact with the data itself. It's the AI applications, and then AI rippling through each of those core layers. And then it's that kind of agentic interface that will sit and wrap kind of all of it all together. So customers can actually think of it as, to me, it's a transformation stack. It's one thing from power to decision, and it's the only platform in the world that connects each of these elements. And I think the most important element that has to be talked about is that that's a dense layer of capability, but it's made simple. And so as AI ripples through kind of the GCP ecosystem of tools, the common element is Gemini. And so Gemini can be found through each of these structures that now make that internet search-based capability simply a conversation. So, I don't know of a platform that's like it in the world, and I don't know that where hardware and technology up through decisioning and at the speed of thought is coming together in such a symbiotic relationship. I thought about it, I think it was probably 2017, someone sent me a laptop from Google, and it said open me, and I opened it up and I played around in the console, it's really, really integrated. But if you look at it today, and the broader concept of the chip, the quantum powered behind even that, up to agentic, and then AI rippling through each of it to make it easier to weave solutions. I think it's its competitive advantage: simplicity, holistic.
Yeah, and Josh, if I look at as the result of the tailwind behind Google right now, lots of customers are choosing Google, for a variety of different parts of that stack or that stack entire. And then I look at the tailwinds behind our business being a premier Google partner. I think you're right, and I think what not only would I agree with you, but the market would agree with you too. Is there's a lot of Google is really packing a punch right now, and what they're delivering is very impactful for a customer's business. Let me zoom in on a couple areas there in particular. If I look at the momentum in 66 Degrees, it's really in data, AI, and agentic. Could you talk a little bit about where Google is at and how Google's in the lead, for the data estate, for the AI capabilities and tooling, and then their agentic interface?
Yeah, there's a lot of SKUs that go into into those bundles, but Google has made very simple is actually how to move and locate your data inside of an ecosystem to one, transact with it, but also learn from it, and also build AI systems around it. And so you've got BigQuery is at the very center of that, and then Gemini is rippling through BigQuery at this stage. And so you've got kind of Dataplex, which is this governing principle, which is security, and in the age of AI, super, super important. It's tightly wound. So to a customer, it's one place to run pretty much everything from a database perspective, whether it's applications or whether it's intelligence-based systems or whether it's the back end for AI. So up the stack, you have things like Vertex, ADK, Agent Builder, which is kind of more of the agentic elements, within inside of GCP, and it's closely coupled to these data building blocks. That's really the heart. I would consider the heart of the system, and applications kind of hang off the side. And so it's becoming increasingly easy to build a data backbone for your enterprise. We can move systems from one place to another, restructure it with AI for AI in a fraction of the time, so that I can actually use AI to unlock the value of that data in a variety of different ways, whether it's intelligent systems, whether it's AI-infused applications, or whether it's agents at scale. These things they're becoming almost turnkey. And so leaving us with kind of like, how can I get the most value in the fastest amount of time? Because it's no longer a complex, incredibly sophisticated engineering effort. We're thinking about, how do I balance systems and architecture, data and AI in a way that actually I can now change and wrap my business around it. And there's business design and strategy to then really be powered by this core infrastructure. So this stack is no longer cloud. It's transformation, and it's a transformation in a box. And what we're left with is wielding that to drive significant transformation, business architecture, organizational design, to really be a competitive business. And that's what we're seeing happen now. And so where cloud is viewed as simply cloud, a place to run something, just happen to be faster, or to use these various tools in a way that's easy to run operations, those are no longer competitive advantage. It's actually, how do I wield this transformation stack to be a competitive business in the age of AI in today's market, with the economic climate and the headwinds that organizations face. This platform is able to do it quick. We're able to get value fast. We're able to do it faster than most other cloud providers. So I think Google's got it right.
Yeah, and Josh, I certainly see that. As you're discussing this, what's going through my mind is that, you think about the internet, it made, yes, e-commerce businesses, but it also forced every business to get online. You look at mobile at this point, it's forced everybody to have a mobile presence and interact and transact. And it's the same thing with the Google stack at this point. And AI and agents, it's not just been a key competitive advantage to be in cloud, to your point. You have to transform your business model. And in many ways, it enables you to take the ceiling off of your business and enable your business and drive that business architecture change, in very, very new ways, in a similar sense to how the internet or how mobile drove change in our business.
Yeah, and I think there are other elements that make Google the right choice to be a transformation backbone of a business. It's that, when you look at loosely coupled investments, whether it's some other AI stack that's in the market coupled with varying levels of cobbled together systems, it makes security, ethics, verifiability, ISO principles more complex. Having your entire estate within inside of a transformation-backed backbone, I think I can have global policies, global controls, secure and safety, rippled around an emerging pattern of transformative thought in my business with this single stack. And so Google's doing some really interesting things. There's lots of tools inside the stack, but the tools are starting to blur together, and it becomes incredibly easy to do one thing that creates business value. And so get my compute power inside of Google allows me to, day one, have features available to me that have a P&L impact. That's as profound as it gets.
Absolutely. Josh, I want to talk a little bit about customers' expectations, in our view, have changed. Because of these capabilities that Google is bringing to the table. I think a customer's expectation is to say, hey, okay, a year ago or 2 years ago, Google, maybe you're able to deliver the technology, but today, how can you deliver an outcome? Josh, can you talk a little bit about those change of expectations and your interaction with customers as you're going to market with Google?
Yeah, I think customers are looking for one, what's the shortest path to value? And I think as a partner, I think the expectations become very clear. How do we teach them how to be effective with this emerging transformation stack? So there's kind of a congealing of skills. There's strategy around how you operate and wield this transformation-based system. So as a consulting provider, I need to make sure I can move someone to this environment safely and as fast as possible. And so you should expect that from me. And being an AI-based business and consultancy of the future, I have to do that in the most effective manner with the least amount of risk as fast as possible. And we do that, and they can expect that from 66 Degrees. They can also expect from 66 Degrees how to teach their teams how to think and bend and twist the system to drive business outcomes inside of their, that they're felt on the P&L. And so there's a degree of expertise that we bring on future of compute and future of thinking with cloud and AI that we bring to our partnership that we impart on our customers, and they expect that from us. And I think there's a third dimension, which is there's a degree of future of business strategy, in this world of AI that they should expect from us, that we're not just simply experts on technology and installation and configuration, but we're also experts on how it relates to and the context of their business, their verticals, their functions, their departments, how they're going to operate around it, but also how they should shape themselves in the future, business architecture, organizational design, to get the most value out of these investments.
So if I hear you right, it's we as partners and we collectively going to market with Google, we have to be experts in technology and platform experts, but then we also have to be experts on our customers' business challenges and how we can help use that technology to solve their business challenges and transform their business.
This is exactly right. Not today, but also for tomorrow. And I think there's a future-proofing element to us being experts in their core business. We have patterns and thoughts around how it should work tomorrow, next year, even horizons out of multi-years. And so they can expect it from 66 Degrees.
Fantastic. Josh, thanks for joining me.
Ben, thank you.